William Shakespeare said true hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings. Well, hope is a funny thing. It shines brightest in the darkest moments of our lives. It can be brought on by loss, by pain, by memories. But wherever and whenever it appears, hope looks forwards, not backwards. It looks up, not down. Hope promises a future better than the present. That is what hope does best. Hope breeds hope. Oh, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these two people have agreed to join me tonight. The other ones didn't tell me to fuck off or anything. They just can't be here. But these two agreed to be here tonight to play with us. It's just the way I phrased that made it sound like two people said no. But um, let's talk about the two people that did make it here.
Sorry.
Yes, unable to attend, which is perfectly acceptable because now we get a side quest. So, speaking of side quests, although no, the segue's gone. We can't talk about you guys anymore. Sorry. I will back it up. Okay, talk to the people. Wayward Knight, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Wayward Knight, aka Chris. I am an artist and I put my stuff on the internet. You can buy it if you like it. My links are all here. I'm also working on a super secret project that I can't tell you about. And I play Delilah Stillwater here on Saturday nights, and I run the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG Grave New World on Monday nights. And we're wrapping that up soon, and then we're gonna go on hiatus, and then we're gonna have season 2.
Yeah.
So, that's all my shit. Join us on our Discord. I live there.
There you go. Which brings us around. Like, there's no waiting this week. There's no surprise, right? Bison
Yeah, right.
_ Stonefist.
That'd be me. I am Bison, aka Bison _ Stonefist. I spend a lot of time on this channel actually. On Mondays, I'm on the Grave New World Buffy cast. Like Chris said, we are currently on hiatus. I play the current murder master, Jack Aldridge. On Tuesdays, I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. I am desperately trying to get the gang back together because you have any idea how hard it is to write 4 separate plot lines? Yeah.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person, but yeah.
I'm asking the imaginary chat. The people who would be in chat. It's just Sid's ghosts just hanging out there.
All the ghosts, yeah.
On Thursday, I play the Bristly Encino, our fossil dragonborn. It's a whole thing, I promise.
Yep.
On our D&D 5e Fool's Gold campaign, King's Pyrite, it's unhinged. We barely survived fighting a robot. And half our party was gone before like the fight even started. So
you guys almost got beat by a chandelier. Let's put this bluntly.
Pretty much, yeah, got our ass kicked by a very, very angry chandelier. So yeah. And then on Saturdays I'm here.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you made it.
And that comes around to me. The only one I want to mention upcoming this week that is different is this upcoming Friday. We're going to do the third One Shot for One. This one featuring the Scarred Adventurer as our guest. And I wrote one based on one of the darkest little books I've ever did read. And the episode is going to be called Darkest Star. So tune into that. That's going to be on Friday.
Can I ask what book?
Yes, because there's no chance he's going to watch this and go research the title. It's called Dark Star, hence my amazingly original Darkest Star title for the whole game.
It's 3 letters different, therefore that's the copyright.
Alan Dean Foster wrote it. There's a movie. If you don't want to read it, it's yeah. Anyway, let's not blow any spoilers up anybody's rectal passages now. Speaking of rectal passages, I didn't leave myself anywhere to go with that segue. There's nowhere to get out of this. It's just a fart joke, and that's it. So let's just leave that there, lingering in the wind. There, I did it.
Today is Kevin's off day for segues.
Yeah, I've fallen off several of them already. So let's do the story then, because I'm better at those. You guys had a bash last night, like a good old country party bash. Many different homemade beers and wines and foods and pots and vague memories of old ladies telling you to only use the pot with the yellow rim because the other one was poison, and all kinds of weird, but just fun night was had by all. And you all went to sleep, and you were forced to admit it, and some of you fought before you'd admit it, but damn it, you all went to sleep happy. And somewhere out in the barn, there's a cow whisperer still making them feel better. But the two of you wake up in the morning to find you've slept in a little bit compared to people that get up just at the crack of dawn. The farms are in full swing, by which I mean everybody is working. There's people pulling plows, they're taking turns. There's like 4 of them pull and 1 of them steers, and then they rotate. There's little old ladies making pots, each their own little family specific pots, if you remember. And Artemis looks like an unpaid apprentice sitting in the middle of all of them, and they're all trying to get Artemis to make
first day.
they're all trying to get Artemis to make their pot, and she's sitting there just trying to steal all the learn all the artistic intrinsic values in all of them, and how they were made, and she's just arting out, and they're trying to get her to pick sides. And she just kind of goes, and then almost like a wave, they close over Artemis, and she is not here for the remainder of this. The boys are both got their shirts pulled off, and they are helping. They're trying to help pull one of the plows. You notice that plow actually has 6 people on it, so nobody got off the plow to let the 2 of them help. But they're working. They're out there. They're working. And as they go past you, Stefano kind of
he's still drunk.
No, Allegra did that thing where she kind of shows you what you should do instead of telling you what you should do, and now we're pulling a plow. And they head up down the road. The 2 of you are handed strong cream morning coffee in big beakers by the locals. They're still treating you as guests.
Sid does his level best not to wrinkle his nose at the fact that it's not tea. You can see the Englishman underneath, just the audacity, but he's also lived in Italy for 30 years.
Well, this was probably a cappuccino earlier today, but it's kind of when in the morning when the working folks got up.
He understands that Italians love their coffee, so he takes it graciously.
And the older lady that hands them to you, kind of without looking at you, just looking down at the table, and there's even the kids are cleaning up from last night. They're taking down the trestle tables and gathering the crockery. Some of it's a little bit's broken. It was a good party, but so they're cleaning up. And she watches them and she says, we're very glad that you enjoyed last evening. Will you be staying long? I don't mean to be rude, but you're a bit of a drain.
Sid's eyebrow arches at the word drain.
That was about 8 days worth of food and drink that we went through last night, and we do not begrudge you, not for a moment. It is part of what we do, but it is going to be a struggle for us to recover. And that's why I think it's okay if I ask you for help. You can see your companions are already very busy, and that woman is amazing with cows. But the two of you are, I think, more action oriented by the looks of it. So I'd like to ask you, because my husband won't, and nor will anybody else in this little town, to go on a little raid for us.
Right.
There's a
Raid of what?
Well, there's a little town not far down the road from here that before was quite prosperous. There's been some um, chemical accidents in the area at the time and since, but because of that, a lot of the things from before are still there. As simple as it sounds, I don't need any of it except. You see, we trade with other towns and valleys like ours. And we can make the things I'm about to ask you to find, but it takes time. So if you could go and bring us back even a backpack each, we could then sell it forward and trade it for the food that we've lost. This is simple things: hammers, saws, bags of nails, screwdrivers and screws, glue.
Metal.
Do you know what there is to expect in this is it abandoned town?
Definitely not. But the answer to the first part of your question, I think, is probably myths and legends. Monsters, demons, zombies, even. And at that, she goes, like she's trying to make light of it. But it's, yeah.
Delilah looks to Sid like, what you thinking?
Sid's sipping on his coffee.
Sid, two hammers, Brimlock.
Yeah, right.
What am I thinking?
Delilah just has a scalpel.
Yeah.
Here, I've got a knife. I'll stab you with it. Sid's like, we'll have to be careful.
Oh yes. We're
These
not asking
ribs
you
are still
to
not healed.
what's the phrase? Rambo this? No.
And Sid's kind of laughs like, well, it's a good thing the doctor will be with me if anything happens to these ribs.
Yeah, we should
Oh, by the way, you guys had a full night's rest, so go ahead and heal a trauma. Your choice.
Oh, good.
I don't even remember if that's in the rules. I'm just sick of you guys having 42,000 traumas all the time. Make another
I've
one go
actually
away.
slowly been fixing those.
Yeah, well, I might give you a whole bunch more later tonight, depending on how
Yeah, we'll see what
how
happens.
well you sneaks.
Um,
Stealth is not one of his skills. It's not even a skill.
It is quite possible, but not guaranteed because nothing ever is, that tonight might be the first combat in this entire game.
That's not true. We had a couple of fights in the scrap.
Nope. People fired things at you, and you
Broke
fired
them.
things vaguely at them and ran away. Or they ran away.
No,
I think it was. Yeah, you're right. We used the
very-
thingy once, but it was.
Yeah,
I consider
the
that to be
whole-
the tutorial.
Yeah.
So yes.
When
I
we
stand by my
charged.
claim. I just moved the start point forward a couple episodes. So, two of you standing there with your rapidly cooling coffee in the midst of a busy little valley.
Good thing I've got a full med kit.
Also got the car, the mobile.
True.
And he says to the woman, I'm pretty handy with a set of tools, so if you need anything fixed right now, when we come back, I'll
Oh, well,
be
in,
happy
in
to
that
lend
case,
a
add
hand.
wrenches, nuts, bolts.
The standard.
So just tools, supplies,
Building supplies.
Metal mostly.
Yes.
building supplies. Okay.
That's what everyone needs. Everywhere is broken. And you look around, and now in the bright light of day, yeah, this place is a patchwork on a patchwork on a patchwork, and it's to the point where they're using like driftwood instead of lumber. They're piling up
Mhm.
bits of turf to fill the spaces in the walls because there isn't proper 2x4s. Yeah,
And
they can make the wood, but and then like she said, they can make the hammers, they can make the nails, they could even, given enough time, make the screws and the screwdrivers, but it takes time, and they don't have it because they're all busy trying to make up for the loss. So
yeah, you can see Sid's face kind of like sour a little, knowing that Florence had a city full of engineers that could have done some real good out here.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Um, if Stefano,
just
no,
quick before you talk there, a counterpoint. You two are now, well, the four of you, the three of you actually, are the only living remnants of Florence. So now what you are is what Florence is.
that's
So
true.
what Florence
Um,
was didn't help them. What Florence is helping.
Well, Fatima's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas is still alive.
Yep.
Gois is still alive.
Yep. So
yeah.
yeah, very small group of people.
It's like just, and as they're, I guess,
forgot a
getting
few.
ready to leave, Sid says to the woman again, thank you for the coffee, thank you for last night, and if you get the tall one away from the short one long enough and sober him up a little, he might be able to help with some of these repairs. He's quite a bright lad, even though he doesn't act like it.
That's the two of them were sitting down building little things or designing things. I'm not quite sure. But then that nice cow lady came out and very quiet. I don't think they said more than a couple of sentences, and all of a sudden the lads were up and pulling as hard as they could. So um, to be honest, I don't have the guts to tell them not to do what that nice lady told them to do.
That's entirely fair. I haven't known her that long, but Sister Allegra has quite the way with words.
I knew it.
He
I
seems to
knew it.
be.
And as you guys are heading out, she turns around and heads away with the firm conviction in her mind that the nice cow lady's name is Sister Allegra. And that
I'm sorry,
explains
Paris.
everything.
I'm sorry, so bad.
That explains everything in post-apocalyptic Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The birthplace of Catholicism.
Yes. It was just over there.
Yeah. So Delilah will grab her med kit and
Mhm.
her scalpel.
Yep.
And for the first time in a long time, she's actually going to put her apron on, but only because it's protective.
Fair.
And she's actually going to take her scalpel
Mhm.
and scrape off all of the like Citadel shit
All
from
the
it.
markings. I
Mhm.
love it. That is a moment.
Sid is going to be wearing his engineer's apron, not the nicer
Yep. Not the
Inspector
manager
General
apron.
of Safety.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
No. Because for him it's familiar.
Yep.
It
Also,
smells
everyone
right.
knows dirty yellow hard hats protect your head better than clean white ones.
Delilah's
Although the clean white
other-
ones get paid a lot more
Oh,
because
yes,
the
yeah.
supervisors.
Yes, yep. Yeah.
Delilah's other apron got shredded.
Yep, it did.
So
yes.
anyway. So yeah. So after she's done doing that, she'll go to the car with her
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
And I guess take the driver's seat so that Sid doesn't have to like expend more energy.
Well, plus, if you guys are going to play polo, he's on that.
The silver hammer is long enough.
Yep. So,
yeah. Yep.
So I just want to paint this picture. The
Oils or
Orchid Mobile.
acrylics?
Oh,
sorry, that's an art joke.
Pastels mostly, in my head at least.
Crayons.
The Orchid Mobile, in that sort of silver and gold, wrapped in patchwork dragon colors. The two of you inside, well-fed, happy, well-rested, wearing your aprons, so you kind of almost match, rolling down the road. It's a scene.
It's
a scene. It's an image. That's a splash page for sure.
Yeah.
As the two of you crest the inevitable hill, because that's the only way you ever get to reveal stuff in any sort of tabletop RPG is by coming over a hill or around a corner, and I hate the corner. So over the hill we go, because that reveals it from the top down. They said this was a chemical town. They weren't kidding. There is a almost destroyed tank farm, like the big, huge petroleum tanks. There's probably was 30 or 40 of them in the main field. One or two look like maybe they still got some in them, but even they're rusted. The rest of them have burned up, blown up, fallen in on themselves, dumped all their fuel everywhere over the years. But that's not it. This whole valley used to be a industrial center. So there's a factory on the far side across the front. You can't really see the brand name because I don't want to get sued, but underneath all you can still see is batteries. And that's all blown up and kind of running down. The rubble runs down into the local river. And there's another something chemicals. Actually, I can use this one because it was a joke in the first place. Veshhaupt Chemicals. And it's that one looks like the building's sort of been half-eaten by acid. Like something got out inside the building and kind of melted its way down. But the core of all of this, because this is a round valley, down at the middle, shit rolls downhill, is the remains of this little village. It's been burned by gases, it's been acid flooded, it's been toxic gassed. It's the worst case scenario village. You guys sit at the top of this little crest because we've established it in the rainbow colored softly quilted Orchid Mobile. You can see movement, but you're too far away to see.
Yeah. Delilah looks to Sid and says, have you got any gloves?
Reaches into his apron, pulls out his old Steamman's gloves.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Multiple pairs. Nobody's only ever.
You still got the gas mask, the Verite, mate.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Yep. So masks on. You can now got that hear yourself breathing thing. I am Darth Vader. Wait a minute. Does that mean I'm my own father? What? Huh? Don't finish any of the rest of that. But with that, you roll down the hill into town, or nearer to town.
Yeah, I don't think Sid would want to bring it all the way in.
Yeah, no. Delilah's parking like towards the edge and not quite there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just out of
how about the
any,
last little surviving copse of toxic little trees that kind of nearly almost provides some cover for it. It's like the
Italy's
little hedge,
Sure.
the little
I was gonna
hedge that
say-
almost couldn't. You know,
I was gonna say Italy's saddest rest stop.
it's just yeah. It used to be a beautiful tree, but it's just sort of left there now. But it's enough to hide the
Sad,
yeah.
sad cypress trees.
Yes, it's enough to scoot the rig under. That will thereby be protected by tabletop RPG rules.
Just nail the contract.
It's yeah. It's rude to
5+ rules.
steal the ride. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes the boop boop.
Yeah.
There, it's safe
Yeah.
now.
Unless it's part of the game. We did that. I think we did that for a little while in the world at large, where we kept track of the horses that died or were left
Oh
behind.
no.
Yeah.
You made the joke,
Eaten by
but
rocks,
we only ever really used horses, I think, twice.
Yeah.
Um,
That's just my running
we
gag.
went through 3 boats.
Yes. I think you guys wrecked the same one twice. Never mind.
Yep.
Anyway,
We did.
Different show.
Yeah.
So yes.
So
You
we
should watch
parked
it.
the
Check
car.
out the YouTube.
Yes.
Yep. We parked the car and we or at least I can't remember my name, Delilah.
Yeah, we go. Or Felicity. Either one will do.
Or yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lila, Felicity.
Felila.
I like duality. I was looking at it earlier today, and I know it doesn't quite work with the letters, but that's how I put that together anyway.
So Delilah parks the car in the little cops, and with all of her gear on, she gets out and waits for Sid to get out too. And then if there's nothing else they need to do there, she'll start walking towards the town.
Borderlands 2 shit going on here with the masks and the goggles and the backpacks and the aprons and the weapons. And are you taking both hammers, Sid?
I think the silver hammer is going to be on his back.
Yep.
And he's got the forge hammer in his hand, like just in the
Old
little,
Faithful is in your hand.
Is the silver hammer like a sledgehammer kind of hammer?
Yes. It's a
Okay.
2-handed sledgehammer, and it's got an impact weight on it. So there's there's a
okay.
weight on it, and then when it hits, that weight slides forward.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Double whammy.
Impact hammers are so cool.
Yeah, and Verite built it, so it's probably spring loaded too. So
Yeah.
anyway, for the purposes of the game, it really doesn't matter. It's because you're playing cards
just
anyway, but it's just cool. So that's why, yeah, pile it up. So on foot gives you time to look. The road that you guys followed down to here, up to here, it's been pretty clean, but this is where the filth starts to come down the hills. You just see it goes right into the creek, and it like the creek's bubbling and it's green slime, but it's not healthy algae. It's the wrong green. It's like don't come over here kind of green. There's no fish, maybe leeches. Not the Frank slide. No, we're not doing the Frank slide.
Yeah, that's
That's too
very
nasty.
tired.
But yeah. Anyway, that's what the whole terrain looks like. The grass has gone black and is all just tilted downhill because every time it rains, the sludge comes out of the remains of the factories and just down the valley. And in the bottom, just like this black, swampy mess with a bunch of buildings, the roots of buildings for the most part sticking out. Pretty much all the houses are gone as far as being houses. Downtown, there's still the strip that's mostly still intact.
Can we see if there's like this? The sludge is like the last place Delilah wants to check.
Yep.
But can we see if there's like materials in the sludge that we would need to go look for later?
Not sure what you mean, like what kind of materials?
Like the stuff that like the nuts and bolts. And,
Oh, okay.
Like,
This would be mostly scrap metal, concrete, and rebar from these buildings that blew up, and big chunks of metal from the fuel tanks that collapsed and that sort of thing.
okay, so it's
all-
not like stuff that we can really carry back.
No,
Okay.
no, it's either too
Okay.
big or too rusty.
Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah,
nice,
don't want-
nice
Don't
attempt
want
to. Yeah.
tetanus in the apocalypse. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the idea of let's just not go down there. Speaking of down there, the movement as you get closer now becomes, well, some of it becomes clear. It's not cockroaches when you turn the light on numbers, but there's at least a dozen mangy ass looking raccoons just boldly walking up and down streets, pulling stuff over, looking for food. They're thin, underfed, and I mean literally mangy, covered in patches of mange, um, tails all screwed up, hairless like rats in some cases. It's so bad, even the raccoons are suffering. There's, like I said, they're bold. They're just walking up and down the street, and raccoons are famous trespassers, rabies carriers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Delilah just turns her head to Sid and goes, "Well, into the breach, into the fray." I don't remember the saying.
That's disgusting, is what it is. But
Into
we
the
must do.
mess.
Into this mess. Yes.
Speaking of the mess,
Stay behind me for sure.
the road is raised slightly, so it's relatively nice. Anything off the road is nasty. So, are you going to walk into town on the road or in the nasty?
Well, if the road is
Road.
raised, we also have a little bit better, like how raised, like
I mean, of
meters.
the compared to the swamp, the road goes
Okay.
straight into town, and the town is sort of like, over generations and hundreds of years, towns just sort of build up on their own rubble,
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
and then you build the road to match that height. So it's kind of a dike before there was swamp here.
Yeah, the road just seems more more advantageous.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely easier. Just
from a yeah. So
yeah. So the two
road.
humans walking
Yeah.
down, like you got a lane each. This used to be a 2-lane highway into this town, right? So you did the classic drone shot of the two of you looking tiny, one in each lane as you walk into town. If you choose to do so, because cards, you may make a perception-y sort of a check. What's it called?
Perception.
Perception.
It's called
in this
perception.
Case. In this case, it is. Yes. So that's clubs, steam,
Clubs.
mental,
Oh,
if you wish.
that's why I dropped it.
I will go with 1 success with a 3.
Okay.
Yes, I will go with 1 success with a 5.
Okay. Perfect. You both see them, but you see different ones. The 3. Sid, you see it's got to be a human. I mean, it's bipedal. It's dirty. It's running around. It looks like it's maybe got a stick. It's covered its junk with a piece of cloth, but other than that, it's just filthy, rancid. But it's just, it looks more like Gollum than a human.
Pointed stick.
Yes. Oh, yes. The height of technology in this town, apparently. Because Delilah, with your 5, you see not that one, but in a slightly different area. The two of them are, in fact, you figure out with your 5 that the group that you see, the group of 3 who do not yet have pointed stick as a technology, have got big rocks in their hands, and you see them sneaking up, and then you sort of, I'm assuming that the two of you sort of go to turn to tell each other, and then look back and see that it's 3 people hunting 1 person. But they all, like I said, they look like just shriveled little, no hair and just filthy, and they're all limping and gibbering. That's the word I was looking for. You hear gibbering.
Do anything about this?
What happened here?
There's a smell in the air like battery acid and jet fuel.
One of the things we have to make sure when we were down in the boilers is we had to make sure our water was still pure. Heavy metals do things. And that's the least, that this is an order of magnitude worse than we ever had to deal with back in Florence.
processed fossil fuels. Yeah, lithium
I'm
batteries,
surprised any of them
cobalt.
can walk.
Ugh.
So are these degenerated people?
I would be surprised if anything was going on in there.
They are moments away from setting upon their victim who has not yet seen them. You guys are still like
Lord.
a
Sid's just like-
ways away, but yeah.
Bollocks. Picks up a rock and just chucks it as hard as he can in that general direction.
Okay, what is your intent?
To spook everyone involved.
Okay.
A random
That
rock
works.
out
Yep.
of nowhere.
Yep, absolutely.
One person's trying to be sneaky. 3 people are
Yep.
trying to be sneaky. They hear a noise.
Yep, absolutely.
Scatter like rats.
I don't need a roll for that. You just need to fling a rock down a street and then I presume hide before it hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, throw up. You know the thing. It's like making a throw from the outfield. You got time to hide after.
Yeah.
So you fire a rock in that direction, dive underneath some place to hide. The two
Hide
of you
behind
can.
what used to be a Bugatti.
Now it's just a T.
Yeah, it's a boo.
Somebody stole my Bugatti. Never mind. They only left a T. No, wait a minute. Wrong joke. So yes, you hear the rock clatter off a wall, and yeah, it breaks up everything because the 3 guys hunting go which means the guy hears them, and then it's like every survival game ever. This guy was speed 30 and this guy was speed 30 chasing each other. It's just that shit off, and you see them running down the street. They're never gonna catch him, but he's never
Benny
gonna
Hill,
get
the
away. And
Doors.
yeah, but it is
Like a
for
speed
all the joking I just did about it. It is clearly life or death. The guy's got nothing. There's only one reason they could possibly be trying to kill. Well, I mean, I guess they
The
could be mad
meat.
at him or something, but it isn't for
Yeah,
taking his
but-
stuff. He ain't got no stuff except a pointed stick.
Mhm. And that's only going to help one of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's
As soon as the
Yeah.
4 of them leave, you see the raccoons move back in. They sort of vacuumed out when the people showed up, and then
Yeah.
now they're coming back in. Particularly the bravest ones, they're fighting amongst themselves. They're so desperate, but the bravest ones go right to where that encounter happened, where all the people were, to see if they dropped anything. And they're doing like licking rocks and trying to see if there's anything that got dropped. Right?
yeah. Sid's like
Desperate.
visibly disturbed by all this, because in Florence there weren't many people, but everyone had what they needed. There
Mhm.
was no real scarcity at all
Mhm.
because the constructs did all the work.
Exactly, which is why everybody's working out in that field. It's why you guys are here. But speaking of scarcity, the 2 of you can look around now. You're close enough to the remains of downtown that is still standing-ish. It's beat to hell, but there's like a clothing store with all the windows busted out, but nothing's taken. Because what value does designer jeans have, right? In this world, there's
Yeah.
the only stores that are completely trashed, in fact, they've been burned, is what was a supermarket and what was a restaurant. So anything that had to do with food had been pillaged and at some point set on fire.
Sid's looking for a hardware store
Yep.
or
There is
I was
one.
thinking a
Otherwise, this
hardware
would
store.
be pointless. Yeah,
Yeah.
just move to the next town, please.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Your princess is in the other castle.
Are you fucking kidding me? We moved. Have you seen this shit? Yeah. No, there is a hardware store, and like I think probably at least every small town hardware store ever, it's got the slidey grates that go across the front. Not the big strong metal bar ones, but the scissory ones.
The
Yeah.
crisscrossy, yeah.
Yeah, it's got those across the windows. All the windows behind them are broken because people are assholes.
It's easier to throw rocks
Yeah,
and find out.
even if you had to go in with a pointed stick, it's like, hey, there's a window that isn't broken. Nah, I have power. Anyway, so nobody's been. Well, it doesn't look like, at least from the front, like anybody's been in. But as you get closer to that, you see in the doorway, there's what first looks like maybe a corpse. It's just a pile of blankets and clothes and a pillow, maybe. And then it sits up. Well, they sit up. It's one person, but it's like it's just this humanoid, just like almost like a skull. They're not a skull, but they're that emaciated. They just pop up and stare at you and start to crawl towards you. There is nothing going on back here is an understatement. There is primal need. It is just sustenance, and they're coming to you. Not like they're going to necessarily eat you. They might, but it's more like, do you have, right? It's like a drowning person will pull someone else down to try and climb themselves out. It's that level of desperation.
Sid digs through his pockets trying to find like a piece of hardtack.
You guys got rations, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Delilah automatically grabs a handful of whatever she can grab from her rations.
Yeah.
And like I'm assuming it's in like a pack or like a package, or something.
Yeah.
And she'll toss it to the guy or person.
Yeah. And you as well, Sid? You said you're gonna pull out an individual piece and
like a bun or something, like a piece of bread.
Okay. And
something like individual and easily tossable.
Yeah, it's something not complex.
You said drop on the ground. Sid, are you dropping it on the ground in front of them, or are you gonna try and hand it to them?
Kind of, a step forward so that if something were to happen, Sid would be first. But he does kind of like place it on the ground in a way that it's not like in a piece of dirt or it's going to roll into a puddle.
Fair. Like Delilah will be, that considerate too. Yeah. Like she won't be a piece of shit.
As you put it down, they do that like lizard skitter. The body stays flat and all the hands and legs are just kind of out to the side. They're actually hit it mouth first. They've forgotten they have hands. And you can see them trying to chew the bun. They're just kind of gumming it because they got no teeth left. It's getting in there, but it's and there's bits of bun everywhere. And
can we step around them?
Yes, and you probably should, because free of charge, no roll or no play necessary. The raccoons and the people have heard the equivalent of a cat hearing when you turn on the can opener. The Whiskas ad, you guys just went shinka, shinka, shinka. So you can hear skittering, thumping, pounding, screaming. Like, the people look like zombies, the raccoons look like zombies, everything's toxic, the walls are melting. Yeah,
Delilah's gonna try and get into that hardware store.
It's locked. Big shiny gates over all the windows.
Can I try to
footy shade? Yeah, Sid, you were gonna say something?
I was gonna say, Sid has a hammer.
Yes, Sid has 2 hammers.
Yeah.
I have 2 answers to the question.
He's gonna look for the actual padlock though, and try and smash that.
That's gonna require a roll. If you were just gonna like smash it with your big forge hammer, that's not a big deal. But to hit something that big with a 12-pound sledge, I'm gonna need an attack roll. So that is
combat.
Yeah, combat. Yeah.
All right.
Or athletics. I'll give you either or, because they're the same. They're both diamonds.
The same stat.
False choices.
Well, I mean, if you
had it specialized, it would be a difference. That's
it's okay. Diamond. All right, I'm gonna go with 2 successes.
Okay. So you
to make sure I hit just the lock.
Well, yes. Not only that, because the first success gets you the lock snapped open. The second success, if you're okay with it, gives you the it still looks in one piece. Like you
Yeah.
popped it, but you can step in, close the door, and sort of reach through and click it, and it
Mhm.
looks locked again. It isn't. You broke it, but
Yeah.
it looks locked. I'll give you
Yeah.
that for the 2 successes.
Because that's exactly what Sid was going to try and do.
Yeah.
Is because these guys don't appear to be intelligent enough to
No, the most they're
figure
going to
out
do is shrink
slide.
this. Yeah,
And
exactly.
raccoons learn by watching,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so they're not going to figure it out because they're too
Okay.
busy looking for crackers.
I thought you were gonna say crack.
Crackoons.
Raccoons, yeah,
Oh.
crackoons.
Oh.
Crackoons. Oh my gosh.
Oh. We got trash panda. We got the crash pandas.
I was gonna say
called the
crash
crackoons.
pandas.
Yeah,
and then
called the
crackoons,
crackoons.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
man.
drug run. We'll have to do that one on a late night game. Never mind. This game. We're off topic. Good thing nobody's watching.
If this is a professional
Just
stream, we'd be in
for
trouble.
us.
Oh, people watch the VOD. It's
Exactly.
and the YouTube. Anyway, with that, you're inside. You click that thing shut. Boom. You step back into the darkness. It's that. Oh, and see now I'm seeing the Stephen King movie, The Fog, where you step
Oh, The
back into
Mist.
the all the power's off. But you're inside this totally familiar space, except it's from before. So there's cash registers and rows of stuff on shelves and signs hanging from the ceiling to tell you about the stuff and light fixtures that don't work because there's no power, but fluorescent tubes filling the space, glass fronted cabinets with what used to be expensive electronics and is now just shit in it. You know, the full meal deal, untouched since before.
Is it fair to say that, like, in an emergency kit, Delilah might have like a flare or a glow stick?
Yep.
Okay.
We've established that Sid has a bit of a small, almost a lighter.
Oh yeah, you've got like a
Yeah.
you've got like a torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the torch. Yeah. So which would you prefer? What do you want? The thing that you want to do? That sentence actually
Oh
worked,
wait.
but weird.
Duh. Delilah has the flashlight.
Well, I was going to mention the flashlight, but I thought you were looking for something that you could sort of leave somewhere. But yeah, you have the crank flashlight.
Yeah, Delilah's gonna take out the crank flashlight and just like crank it for a couple minutes and then just let it run.
And just yeah. About the end of that minute that it takes to crank that thing up, you hear skitter, 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 skitter on the roof, on the metal roof.
How much do you want to bet there are holes?
Oh, guaranteed. Matter of time before we're going to have to hit something. So we should be quick.
Yeah. Delilah's going to, whatever she finds that fits the description of what they asked for, just shovel it into
whatever the
bag.
Whatever the Italian version of what hardware, I guess, is written down one wall, and that's where all that stuff is. It's easy enough to find. It's just heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's from before. So the bags of nails, like the nails, is easy. There's just bins of nails. That's universal, and the paper bags to put them in, beautiful, no problem. Mm-hmm. Screws, same thing. They've got the stupid expensive packs on the blister packs on the wall, but come on, grab the handfuls out of the bins, right? That's the easy stuff. Hammers, saws, screwdrivers, basically tools of any kind, wrenches, are all on packaging. You could get way more in if you take the time to remove the packaging.
Scalpel, shing.
Yep.
Yeah. Sid's actually going to prioritize files.
Okay.
Sharpening kits.
Ooh. Okay. second level, yeah, taking care
Yeah,
of the
like
tools.
things, tools to make tools.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And
drill
things
bits,
to maintain tools.
Yeah.
because you can make a hand drill.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And a good drill bit is hard to make
Yeah.
in a post-apocalyptic
I love this.
society.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Delilah and Sid go for like different things so that they can
Yep.
keep their bases covered.
That makes
Mhm.
sense. Yeah. Sid's hitting that stuff. Most of that stuff. Yeah. Everything, all of that stuff is in packaging. So it's going to
Yeah.
be, yeah, it's annoying. But the thing is, you guys should, I'm not gonna do any rolls here. You guys just start shoving stuff into your bags. The skittering on the roof gets heavier. There's more feet up there, and you start to hear as bits of metal are starting to be bent. Just at that moment, 3 people hit the front of the store, trying to get in, raging and screaming and howling. They can see the light.
Mm.
Delilah turns off the light.
Click. They're still out there shaking, but they're kind of just going into shaking mode. Like they don't know why anymore. They really are zombie-esque. It is just, in fact, as you
Wait,
watch.
it's the middle of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's probably light coming through the windows. We don't need the flashlight.
Those big box stores usually only have the little tiny windows up at the top. And over 30 years, I'm going to say that they were pretty dark.
Okay.
I specifically said it was dark when we came in. So, yeah, you had to turn on the flashlight, and nobody went, you don't have to turn on the flashlight in a lit room. So, yeah, hoist on your own petard.
Okay.
Ha! I said it. No, I said it. So, it's all turtle shell packaging. Yeah. So, yeah, the point is you're running out of time.
All right.
And you have to get out of here.
Yeah. Potato sack. There's got to be a burlap sack or something.
Oh,
at
and
a hardware store.
in the, if not out front, there's bags of manure, or not manure, but that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Fertilizer.
Well, I mean, just
and stuff.
literally just a burlap sack. I mean, they would just something to carry shit in.
Sandbags.
Part of me wanted to say shopping cart, but that's a little too far.
Go to Home Depot and get one of those buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna stuff everything into a sack, bucket, whatever happens to be. Suck it.
Bucket.
Suck it.
Bucket.
So, we're gonna reduce this down to one question: how much? In other words, how much? The real question is, how much are you going to take? But the real question behind that question is, how fast can you move? Because if you want to be able to run full speed, then you're not going to be able to take very much. If you want to take a lot, you're going to have to go slow. So,
I think in Delilah's mind, do I need to make a play to be able to determine what feels like it's a little too much?
I don't think you need to make it. It's just knowing yourself, right? You can load up the backpack, put it on, jump up and down, and go. No, I wouldn't last 5 minutes with all that shit in there.
Yeah, because she's not gonna she's gonna take as much as she feels comfortable with, but probably more than what would allow her full speed, but not as much as dragging it along.
Okay, so sort of 75% of your normal movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sid would be the same. It's going to be a lot more because he has tireless athletics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So well, you guys are going to make plays. So, because we got to do that at least.
Skill level.
So with that, we all know what's coming next. Mm-hmm. You guys are loaded up. You've adjusted everything, tightened up all the straps. Anything you want to say to each other before you head out? And where are you heading out, and how?
I think Sid would suggest we take the back exit. As far as what he says to Delilah, I don't really know. I think he'd just be one of those. All right, Miss Stillwater, are we ready? As he's
Yeah, Delilah will like be like, ready as I'll ever be.
Backpacks, aprons, ready to charge out the back door. You make your way into the back of the store, and it it's a weird. The back of big box stores are weird places because you're not supposed to be there. So none of the pretty is there. It's all just concrete walls and concrete floors and big cargo doors and a giant garburator cardboard crushing thing right inside. And it's just a processing space. It feels like outside, but it's inside.
Yep.
And leaving the back of that, you can see two loading doors and then a flight of stairs going down to a normal sized door. In other words, the loading doors are a meter off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right, for the trucks to back up to. So there's stairs that go down that meter to a people-sized door that's 3 meters below, or a meter below you.
I think Sid would take the door. Doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Personally, he's thinking, in case the villagers need to come back to this place, I don't want it to be easy for the scum to get in.
So you're actually going to try to close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who goes out first?
Sid.
Okay.
Not get to even a question.
You get to the back door, Sid. It's one of those push bar, the big metal door with the clunk bar. It's got the
former receiver. I am very used to the back door.
Yeah. It's because it's a staff area. It doesn't even have the alarm will sound button because it's just, it's staff. They're supposed to fucking know. So you push, and it doesn't want to, it's been there. It's almost like it's frozen. If it will open, but it's going to make a hell of a noise unless you do something about it. It's going to go ka-chunk. And when it opens, unless you do something.
Heat it up. Heat it up with your
engineer self.
Your torch.
Yeah, I could do that. Use
the rust
the forge hammer to
lubricate something. You got.
Or well, it's gonna make a noise anyways. Those are gonna be loud, but either way. Actually, instead, I think he is going to go with one of the bay doors, but it's just going to be open just enough that when they both roll out, he can.
Yeah. Well, yeah, those doors are awesome because you take the chain out of the little thing, you pull, and they come up. But until they get up to about 2 meters up, they'll reset. They'll drop and close themselves, right? So yeah, lift it up a little bit. The two of you sort of, well, you can't roll out. You're wearing backpacks, but you wiggle out, drop
Army
to the ground. Yeah, close the thing. Okay, perfect. Sid, you guys have lifted up the thing. You lift it up and slide underneath. As your feet hit the ground, something moves up over here, up at the top of the building, and a little ways over from you. Something starts to drop. You look and you see the rankest, nastiest little person that you've seen yet. They got a rope tied around their waist and roughly made harness of rope tied around the rest of them. And they're swinging down towards you with both hands and both feet outstretched like claws. Eyes aren't even, not even pointed in the same direction. Mouth wide open. Just, ah! Delilah, you're still inside. You hear Sid go boom, and then you hear, ah! Sid, what do you do? Quick.
And then Delilah is going to hear a loud thud. As Sid whacks him with his hammer. Because that's
but
it's a bat. I mean,
yep.
That hammer is just going to go straight into his solar plexus.
Yeah,
he's going to wish he never
take the step and rotate.
He wish he never watched Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
And he just does the around it with the legs sticking out and the arms sticking out for a second. And that's when you realize he's swung down this rope. The idea was to swing past you and go back up. he's dead as hell. You're gonna have to peel him off the hammer, kind of dead. There's no damage rating for
Gods.
this, but you hear on the rooftops, both sides of you, running humanish feet and hands. It's not raccoons anymore.
Yeah.
Delilah?
Sid. So what happened?
It's clear, but we need to be fast.
Oh god. So Delilah will shimmy
Shimmy, shimmy,
through.
shimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let the door drop behind them.
Yep. Your feet hit the
Sid's
ground.
pulling
and you
his
look up
hammer out of
and
this guy's sternum.
You can see shapes on the roof. There's one, then there's two, then there's three. They're starting to pack up.
We need to go now.
We do. Yep.
So
The two of
Yeah.
you start. I need athletics or resistance. Well, they're both diamonds. But yes, athletics or resistance. Athletics to just sheer carry this weight and keep going. Resistance to fail to do that, but deal with the pain that goes with it and keep going anyway. And I'll give you a little
I'm
cheat.
gonna
You're going to have to do this
go-
more than once to get out of town. So
where's
that is
readiness?
diamonds again.
Readiness is steam. You're thinking resistance.
Oh, I said resistance or athletics. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You confused me.
My bad.
Because I have something that would work for readiness, but that wouldn't. But I'm tireless athletics, so that's not doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you play
Tireless
one and then you get one back, right, for the tireless athletics. You get
Yeah.
it back. Okay, yeah. So, yes.
one
use the two.
success.
Okay. Throw those cards away. The two of you get out of downtown and out into the what used to be residential area. Better, kind of. You're closer to the wagon. Worse, kind of, because you can see what's coming. It's every raccoon, rabbit or not, every one of these people. There's some of them running on the roofs, or some of them running up the streets, or some of them aren't even running. Some of them are crawling. Some of them are just screaming in, just rage that they can't keep up. But everything in this town is coming to get you. I need another play, please. Athletics or resistance. Or argue me into something else.
Yeah.
Or, dun, 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 drop your stuff and get away scot-free.
One success.
Okay.
One success.
With two cards? Oh, right, because they added up to, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Delilah, you're starting to, I can see in your eyes, you're starting to fall. Like you're starting to, like you're telling your legs to go and they're going, I don't know about this. You're starting to fade. What makes it possibly worse is that Sid isn't. Sid's beside you, just moving like a machine, just dunk, 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 dunk,
As
dunk,
Sid
dunk,
does.
dunk. Yeah. Guys are into the suburbs. This is it. The last sprint before you're not out of the valley yet, but at least you'll be out of town. You look behind and they're just coming over the walls, down the street. They're not even trying to hide anymore. It's getting all Romero back there. There's just like more and more of them coming out of the woodwork.
Are we like near the car?
You're
out of town?
You're 2 rolls away from getting to the car.
Okay.
From a mechanical perspective. Also, from a mechanical perspective, Sid gets that Joker back every single time.
It's actually that's if it was prepared.
Oh.
With tireless, it's draw and add to your hand as many cards as those just played -1.
Oh,
So if
draw
I only
from the.
play
Oh, sorry. So you draw from your deck, not get that card back. Okay, my mistake. Okay,
yeah.
that's okay. In that case, there's one more roll between you guys and getting back to the car. Delilah.
If that's the case, one success.
Okay, you're just
And
like by the time you slam into the car, it's one of those can't stop, bang into the side of the car. Oh my god, how am I going to climb in here? You start sort of making your way there. Sid.
Sid's realizing that he almost took too much stuff. Those are his
Uh-huh.
last 2 cards, so he has
Yeah.
1 success.
The two of you both just played double sixes. That's weird. I mean, you're not playing out of the same deck. That would be creepy.
That would be
But
super
you
weird.
guys got all 4 sixes. Oh well. But yes. So the two of you, I mean, yeah, you do that close up movie scene where there's just like you can see the side of the vehicle and then the trees in the background, and it's whump, and then just in front of that whump, the other one, and then they kind of look at each other as you start hauling on the doors and climbing into the Orchid Mobile. As you do so, you pedal and pedal and pedal to get this thing going. You pull on the thing and you start to move. As you do, up out of the trees in front of you, one last giant raccoon. It just steps up into the middle of the road, turns like it was like it was just hunting, and it's kind of deer in the headlights moment. It sees you guys coming, but unlike a deer, it doesn't freeze. It turns and goes to attack the front of the car.
Sid's going to stress his body to pull 2 cards, and because I'm assuming
Delilah's going to say, "Don't you dare!" and she's going to stress her body to pull 2 cards. How many traumas do I take?
I would only take 1 because when I play in the dark, you draw 2 cards.
Right, you play in that, right?
Yeah.
In that case,
Somebody's got to drive, Delilah.
That you know what? Can I floor it and just try to like smear this thing across the car?
Absolutely, you can. For that, I need a dexterity roll, and Sid, I need thump.
Yeah.
By which I'm in combat.
Yeah.
And we are playing polo if this works.
Well, I am going to instead of saying combat, use I'm going to say makeshift armory.
Okay. Yep.
So I can actually play my spade.
Okay. Fair. Yep. That makes perfect sense. Yep. Good use of the rules.
Basically, what he does is, as Delilah's flooring it, Sid stands up, so he's got 1 foot on the dash, and the other foot's on the chair. So
George Washington crossing the Delaware, perhaps.
Kind of. I'm thinking the first Viking off the boat kind of crash.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Just the big mad Sid.
If water polo was played with war elephants, kind of thing.
Oh yes. Yep. And Sid, you're you're a water polo look with the little shirt and the stash. Yeah, all you need is the little ear cup things and you're good to go. Actually, you're wearing a whole face mask still. Both of you are. So yes, you hit and our dexterity driving roll.
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my hammer.
1 success.
1 success. So yeah, you catch him with the front of the Orchid Mobile, and because it's shaped like an Orchid Mobile, it's kind of got a built-in not cow catcher. I know that's not what they technically are, but you know what I mean. It's kind of got one of those built into the front, so you hit it and it sort of spins off. So it's not paying attention as Sid comes through
just polos
and polo baseballs it on the way by. There's just a definition of a sickening thud, and it's just, and you look on the road behind you, and as it hits the road and the stuff starts to ooze out of it, you can see the pavement starting to get eaten by what was inside this thing. Sid, which hammer did you hit it with?
I hit it with a silver hammer.
Okay. So Veritas hammer?
Yeah.
Okay. At least it wasn't yours. So you took the trauma for pushing yourself
Yeah.
and then did the thing. Yeah, okay. You look down and the
Actually,
whole front. It's kind of a two-part problem with the hammer.
mm,
Even Verite never expected you to be going 60 kilometers an hour when you used it. So
that's
just the
fair.
physical front of it is smooshed. And that when the thing came forward, it broke the mechanism. So it's broken, but that's not the big problem because all the metal bits at the end are starting to melt together.
Bollocks.
Verite can
Oh.
fix it. We have to leave.
Meanwhile, the
Oh.
car is
Yeah. Yeah.
because just because it's funny.
Oh, he's going to be so mad at us.
No, he's not. Shut up. Let's go. We just drive away.
Yep. You drive away that way. The camera pans around this way, and the town just stops and then turns on itself. The raccoons and the people just piling into one big mass of desperate hunger on
Dust
the edge of the street behind you.
and stars coming out.
Yeah,
Ghosts
almost. Yeah.
occasion-
Yep. Except all Romero. So,
Yeah.
so yes,
So plenty of corn syrup.
you guys back
And
up
red
the hill
dye.
out of the valley, leaving the muck and the slime behind you. You get to the top of the hill and stop for a moment because I like these moments. You look behind you and see that. Like the town is eating itself. At least it'll be safer the next time someone comes. It's going to be messy, but at least it'll be safer. You guys are sort of. Now that you're in the car, you can, and you've gone a distance, you can sort of take a second, take the backpacks off. It's a lot of stuff, but it was 2 backpacks and not a car full.
Yeah.
But
Well, considering the
considering
Toxic
you were told to
Avenger
sneak in, that was
yeah.
really unfair. I take that back.
Yeah.
It
I was
just
just gonna say, considering we were facing Toxic Avenger levels of bullshit there.
oh yeah. I just
Um,
and yeah, I just that's the moment in my like I said, I see these things right, and all I saw was you get into a car, you turn around, you throw these hard-earned stuff, you just busted your ass, you almost died for it. Sid, you re-broke your ribs, the whole the whole deal, right? You throw the 2 backpacks in the back seat and go, shit, that's not very much compared to like a whole empty back seat. But when you were carrying it, it was like the weight of the world on your shoulders, right? So
yeah. Still a solid amount of
oh, it's a lot.
stuff.
It's more than out of character. It's more than they're going to expect.
Yeah.
But we're going to save the happy homecoming for next week. Because as you guys turn away from that behind you and the Valley of Infinite Ick, maybe that little valley you were just in looks even more bucolic, even more sort of pleasant.
Well, we're
Maybe
not going to be driving
not
as fast,
so
so
bad.
well, now that we're not driving as fast, we have more time to appreciate it.
Yes. Yep. And closing arguments, I almost said, but that's because there's been certain trials I've been following. But yes, closing statements. As you're driving away, you're safe now. You're sitting at the top of the hill. The mayhem is behind you. Pastoral pleasantries are in front of you.
With the exception of the village here, every town we've gone to has reinforced that whole "the outside is insane"
Yes.
to Sid, and this is coming from the man who sees ghosts.
Yep.
The ghosts, by the way, during this whole thing, were wearing gas masks. All of the
Oh
ones
yeah,
that were on the
I
group.
absolutely yeah. I was trying to figure it out, and so that's funny because in my head, in the store, they were all floating up near the ceiling, trying to stay away from all the stink, right? So yeah, yeah, I love it.
It's all like,
But I like yours better because that means they've got a sense of humor. Delilah.
Well, Delilah worked with constructs, so it was kind of a weird deja vu, but on the other end of a bizarre circular spectrum. where like there's constructs and then it goes all the way around, and then there's these people
Yeah.
who are essentially mindless
Yep.
and
Yep.
dead already.
Yeah.
And so it was a very weird, like
But without purpose.
cognitively dissonant, yeah, like a bizarre cognitively dissonant experience. And it,
I love it.
I think it very much kind of messed with her brain.
But
And
is it a reinforcement in another sense too, though? That doesn't work. No matter how you accomplish that mindless automaton state, it doesn't
yeah,
work. That's not the answer.
yeah. Um, but it definitely gave her some flashbacks
Oh yeah.
To some things that have been reframed in her mind as very bad.
Yep.
Um, and I think as all of that was happening, I think that's why she was faltering, and struggling to like get stuff done and get out of there.
Yep.
And I think the culmination of that was just like this big ass raccoon just like really fucking freaked her out. And
Oh yeah.
I think stepping on the gas was more of a panic reaction than anything else, and Sid just kind
Yep.
of picked up the slack.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I'm justifying the traumas she took.
Yep. Like, did that really happen? There's no way. There's no way that happened. There's no way.
Yeah, so like I took a emotional trauma for the flashbacks and a mental trauma for the like panic.
Fair. Yep. That makes perfect sense. And Sid, you physically
And then
wounded your own self again.
I took one in gear just
Yep.
because of the damaged hammer.
Yep.
I figured that
makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we fixed, that one's cool because I can fix that one. As soon as you give Verite the fucking hammer, he'll fix it, and you'll have to take that trauma away too. I'm getting good at this. And then you took one physical for pushing your limit, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, Delilah, yeah.
Nah, never mind.
Sure.
It wasn't a fully fleshed out thought.
Okay. I like that.
As
a fully fleshed out thought. Delilah is sitting on top of the hill, fleshing out their thoughts. It's like, yep, big empties. Yep, need to think.
I think Sid would drive in that respect, because Sid is more okay because he's compartmentalizing it and thinking it was just another trip to the scrap.
Here's the thing. The handle's in the middle. You guys are in the front seat. So Delilah's got one hand on it. You could even just, without saying a word, you could just reach over and put another hand on the tiller. Yeah.
You can start to see Delilah,
because you guys have to lean to steer it, right?
Not dissociating in the way that she does, like if she draws her king, but just like kind of retreating into like somewhere inside of herself.
The deep think.
And that's not great for driving.
Yes. Yep. Fair. So yeah, Sid, you just sort of reach over. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh look, I can reach all the way over there. Yeah. Turning left's a bitch. You know. And yeah, because you guys have to lean to turn this car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like to turn Delilah, you're gonna have to like nudge her a little bit. And she'll go,
yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah. I like the idea that it kind of goes through the hands on the tiller. So Bison or Sid sort of pushes the tiller just a little, because it doesn't go sideways, right? But he just kind of pushes against it, and Delilah just
puts pressure on it.
Yeah.
And Delilah,
and then pulls it. And she just kind of, because I mean, it's automatic, right? But yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you're not watching the road. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But with
every time we turn, there's just this like groan from Sid.
Yeah. So between the pain and the flashbacks and the everything else, successful
back on the trauma train
as you are, the car very, very slowly starts to roll down that hill, blocking out the image behind you. And as the last fallen smokestack and the last slimy puddle of ooze passes from your vision, the wind changes, and you don't even have to smell it anymore. All you can smell is olives. And sweat and fear.
Granted, I don't like the smell of olives.
At
That's a me thing.
least it's not dead. So, yeah. But yes, with that, that is where we will drop the curtain on tonight, and we'll take you all back to the village next time, which is not next week, correct? I think.
Yeah, we
Not for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Yes. So for now, we will drop the curtain on this evening, which brings us to the thank you bits. We went longer than I thought. We went an hour and a half, so that's pretty cool. As I'm learning lately, doing these 1-for-1s and 2-for-1s, it takes a lot more effort when there's only 2 or 3 people. So shorter shows are better. Our Friday night one was 47 minutes from curtain to curtain, and it was awesome, and it was violent, and it was great fun. So thank you both for being here tonight. Thank you very much, Bison_Stonefist. Thank you, Wayward No _ Night. Thank you to all the people in chat, who I think is pretty much us. Thank you, Nightbot. You always show up. I love Nightbot. Nightbot is my viewer.
I don't even get Nightbot half the time.
But
Nightbot
you just
set up.
you have to tell Nightbot to love you. That's the thing. That's why Nightbot is wonderful. You make commands and then you make Nightbot love you. So
That's not problematic.
no, not at all. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk instead about the fictional people, the people that have not yet watched this, the ones that are going to watch on the VOD. Thank you, and the ones that have watched on YouTube. Thank you. This one was kind of wild, so thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to here on YouTube, please hit the buttons at the bottom. You know the things. I'm not going to give you the speech. Hit the buttons, please. I appreciate it. Easy. The last big thing. Until next time, whether there's 1 of you, or 10 of you, or 100 of you, or you're all by yourself even, figure this one out. Be nice to each other. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.